Hi, and welcome to Creating Connections, episode 159. I'm Vicki Musney.
Hi, I'm Mitch Taylor.
Thanks so much for joining us today. Today is the day where we are going to be talking about a chapter out of our book, Creating Connections.
And
in fact, chapter 15 today.
Yeah, chapter 15. 31 days providing stronger and deeper relationships is the tagline. And basically, we're covering a chapter per day that we'd like you to grow strong habits towards connecting with your community, connecting with your clients and others as well. And then today we're talking about chapter 15, find a mentor. How can you find a mentor? We'll cover that more after the break.
That was nice and easy.
What are you talking about? This also speaks to a much bigger issue.
Providing personal solutions through understanding people. This is the Creating Connections podcast with Gitomer Certified Advisor Mitch Taylor and Certified Personality Trainer Vicki Musney.
Welcome back to episode 159, where we're talking about finding a mentor. Mitch, actually, you were the one that wrote this chapter. Are you looking for a new mentor right now?
Yes, I'm looking for a mentor right now.
Well, let me give you some advice. The top quote at the top of this chapter, which is why I like that we just pulled out one single thought. When you go back through it multiple times, you can zero in on these. It is important to find a mentor who remembers what it was like to be new at something. And I love that, Mitch, because there's so many people that know so much information and they have so much experience, but if they can't relate to where you are, they may be very knowledgeable, but they may or may not be very good at mentoring.
I think it's important to never forget where you came from.
Mm-hmm.
And yes, I've done all these crazy things in the DJ world over my career, but I'm still the guy that used to queue up cassette tapes outside of a high school in northern Maine and bring it in and hit play on a cassette deck for a high school prom. I mean, I'm still that guy, and as Faith Hill says, I'm still Mississippi girl, right? And so from that standpoint, you can't forget where you came from, and you can't forget that person who you're trying to help that's looking for a mentor is looking to be where you are. And it's important to also find your mentor's mentor. So if you're looking for a mentor, look for someone who's been where you want to go. I just had a conversation with someone that I look up to and someone who frankly is where I want to be in my career. And I asked him about this, ironically enough, just a couple weeks ago. And when I had the conversation with him, I chatted about who his coach was, his mentor, and he shared with me who it was. But you know what he said? At the end of our conversation, he told me I didn't need it. Ironically enough, and that's the twist, he said, Mitch, you already have the drive. You just need to do the work. Which is ironic, right? Considering this episode is finding your mentor. So sometimes your mentor will just tell you, hey, stop looking for coaching, get your butt to work, And
that can be the greatest thing a mentor can tell you sometimes.
Yeah.
I think some of us do. We get hung up on always searching for more. I just have to read one more book, attend one more class, attend one more workshop, one more seminar, one more conference, one more webinar, whatever it is.
Right.
And at some point, yes, we are both fans of lifelong learning and committed to that.
Absolutely.
But at some point, you just have to suck it up and go do stuff.
Right. And if you're regurgitating quotes over the internet and that's all you do, please.
Yeah. Okay. So Mitch, someone that is newer to business and you're sitting there going, well, how do I find a mentor? I mean, I think back, like when I first joined Toastmasters, that's an official organization that you join and they will assign you a mentor when you're new to the club. and it's very easy. But those of us that are just like kind of trying to do business on our own, or maybe people that are leaving their full-time job or kind of transitioning out and really wanting to get serious about their own business, that's a whole different thing. So, I think that can be a little bit scary, because mentor doesn't have to have a capital M sometimes. Yes, there's
Right.
paid coaching, and that's different than just people that will come alongside.
But today's day and age of Google, I mean, you can find anything. I think back in the 80s, 90s, pre-internet, it was tougher, to find
Yeah.
that person, if you will. I absolutely
Mhm.
agree with that. You had to look more locally, if you will, or in your state, maybe.
Yeah.
But in today's day and age of society, we're global as a society. You can reach anyone at any point in time with 140 characters from your smartphone or whatever the case may be.
Yeah.
So don't feel like you're pigeonholed to just your little box, your little area. You have a plethora of ways to get a hold of people and to be able to connect with someone. So who is crushing it in the area that you want to work in? Who is that next level up of
Mhm.
where you want to go? And then just talk to them, buy them lunch, buy them coffee, say, hey, I'd love to pick your brain. What can
Yeah.
I do to get an hour of your time? Because
Yeah.
frankly, time is a precious commodity to people. And so you have to be kind, you have to be giving, you have to be willing to put in the work and sweat equity up front. Or sometimes it just happens by accident. I'll share the story. I had a gentleman come up to me at Mobile Beat a few years back, and I was at a table for an organization I'm no longer a part of, but I was selling my very first product, a $15 CD. I look back, $15 CD, like, holy cow. It's like selling a cassette tape, I think, for
For real.
Mark Farrell back in the day, but true story. And he came up to me and he looked at the table and he picked up the CD, and I didn't know him from Adam. And I'm like, dude, it's $15. You want to buy it? That's pretty much how I said it, And we struck up a conversation. He bought the disc, and in turn, that conversation sparked his whole career for moving forward.
Yeah.
And I'm proud to say that out of that one little conversation sparked so much change in the DJ industry
Mhm.
for a market,
Yeah.
for a friend, for the national industry as a whole.
Yeah.
It's been awesome to see the growth of my friend, Jeremy Breck.
And I love that it started, though, with Jeremy being new
yes,
and trying to be in the right place to learn and to meet people. And I think a lot of our friends are just on the heels. We've been home for a few weeks from Mobile Beat, Photo Booth Expo, WPPI, whatever, the show was that you were at this spring. What are you doing with those relationships? Hopefully you had your networking A game on when you were at those shows. And I can't help but think of Carissa and Logan.
I was waiting for you to go there.
I know. That was the coolest thing. So I went to this girls' night, event at Mobile Beat, and it was up in someone's suite. And I walked in just a few minutes late, but there were, ladies sitting around, and I saw a couple ladies I'd never met before, and I was kind of sitting on the edge of the coffee table just chatting with them. And when it got time to do like the more formal round robin, and we all needed to like be in a circle, Carissa scooted over and was like, oh, well, come and sit here by me. And so we ended up sitting next to each other and kind of, doing that thing that girls do where like we were whispering to each other when somebody else was talking. And then at one point we decided we were going to duck out early because we needed to go get some dinner before the next event. And so I'd never met her before. We didn't know each other. And she's like, yeah, I'll go get a hamburger with you. That sounds great. And so we went to the restaurant and just started talking. And then we ran into another friend, Jeffrey Sandler. And I said, come meet us at the bar and sit with us and we'll eat and chat. And then it grew into, you know, her husband joining us, and then like, let's go grab drinks. And then you texted and I'm like, come and meet up with us. And just really great business conversations started over just, hey, come sit next to me on the couch, or let's go get a hamburger. Do you guys want to go get drinks? And now we've had some really fun business related conversations. And, you know, and no, I'm not, you know, trying to actively sell them big packages or things like that, but it's like, it's been fun to be able to just point them in the direction. Here's some free resources. Did you know that Mitch does the Live at 7:55 every single day? You can watch those for free. You can even go back and look for old ones.
Right.
You know, by the way, our podcast, that's for free. We do that every single week. We've been doing it for 3 years. If you want to look up a certain topic, and we've talked about it before, I can help you, you know, scroll through the old episodes and find that. And just informal relationships. I think, you know, coaching, I think usually carries with it a connotation of being paid. And mentor is one of those words that I feel like it can have a capital M or a lowercase m. It can just be a friend who is a little farther down the road than you are, that is willing to just kind of say, hey, I've been there. Come along and walk this way. Yeah. And I'll help try to get you closer to your goals. So
finding a mentor is to find someone who's been where you want to go, who's like-minded, and as I said before in the initial quote from the book, doesn't forget of where they came from.
Yeah.
And is willing to reach out and give you a helping hand up. So those are tips to finding a mentor. Chapter 15 of Creating Connections, 31 Days to Building Stronger and Deeper Relationships. That's it for episode 159. I am Mitch Taylor.
And I'm Vicki Musney.
We provide personal solutions through understanding people. Thanks for watching.
Have a great week.
Thank you for listening to the Creating Connections podcast with Gitomer Certified Advisor Mitch Taylor and Certified Personality Trainer Vicki Musney. For more information on providing personal solutions through understanding people better, visit creatingconnections.biz.